welcome back to the channel Edify. So today we look into the 4th unit and 5th unit. So when it comes to unit 4, it is all about promoting culture of peace. Okay, so promoting the culture of peace, that consists of many subtopics, and unit 5th is approaches and strategies. So let's jump into this promoting culture of peace. Okay, so what is the meaning of culture of peace and non-violence? We did see what is a peace and non-violence. Now culture of peace and non-violence. So a culture of peace is a set of values, attitudes and behaviors that reject non-violence and prevent conflicts. By addressing their root causes through dialogue and negotiation. So a culture of peace is a set of values, attitudes and behaviors that reject violence and prevent conflicts by addressing their root cause through dialogue and negotiation. Okay, so this is according to this UN resolution 1998. Okay, the culture of peace can only be implemented by means of an education oriented towards inner peace, tolerance and solidarity, understanding, tolerance, participatory communication, sustainable economic and development, non-violence, international peace and security. Okay, so non-violence meaning ahimsa or non-violence is a philosophical way of life. Okay, it is a philosophical way of life. We can call it ahimsa or non-violence. World countries have believed and accepted the principle of performing duties by non-violence. Non-violence means showing the love and affection to all the creatures. Okay, it means showing the love and affection to all the creatures. There shouldn't be no hurted. Non-violence should be followed in daily life. Okay, so the common root causes you have to look into it for the violence, and we have to give the common solutions. The promotion of a culture of non-violence and peace is not just about the absence of war. Again, promotion of a culture of non-violence and peace is not just about the absence of war. It is not an end or final goal but a process. It is not an end or final goal but a process. Very catchy line. It's not a end or final goal, it is a process. There are concrete actions we can take to work towards more non-violent, humane and equal society. We have seen non-violence that work as a foundation of number of social and religious movements. It can also be used by individuals to reach out to others to find common solution to the problems. Okay, so it is personal practice of being harmless to self and others under every condition. Non-violence is nothing but ahimsa, right? So which tends to thought, word or deed. You should not cause harm to anybody. You should not cause harm to anybody. So we did seen in the previous units that our thought, our action and our words, thoughts, words, actions, everything needs to be united. That is what peace and non-violence. Our thought, our actions, our speak, whatever we speak, the words, the thoughts, the action, everything needs to be united. That's how we can achieve the peace and non-violence. And non-violence creates mutual love between humans and other forms of life and protects our environment. Okay, got it? Okay, so Martin Luther King have given one definition. Okay, non-violence means avoiding not only external physical violence but also internal violence of spirit. Non-violence means avoiding not only external physical violence but also internal violence of spirit. You not only refuse to shoot a man, but you refuse to hate him. Can you understand? You not only refuse to shoot a man, but you refuse to hate him. Let me repeat. Non-violence means avoiding not only the external physical violence but also internal violence of spirit. You not only refuse to shoot a man but you refuse to hate him. That's not easily been achieved, right? It needs time, it needs proper understanding. That's why we say children should be taught this from young age. The children that learned in the age of 5, that registered till 55, that cannot be, that's what, growing a child is easier than editing the adults, right? So that line suits everywhere. All around, the core meaning of this paper is peace and value. So every unit will be interconnected, of course. And disagreements and differences of opinions are natural. But the question is, oftentimes we looked at violence, exclusion, discrimination as separate issues. But in reality, they are interconnected and share common root causes. Can you understand? Violence, exclusion, discrimination, that have the common root causes. To see common solutions, we need to study the common causes. Right. So the conflict prevention should be taken care by us also. What is conflict? According to Dench in 1973, conflict exists whenever incompatible activities occur. According to Dench, that is Dentsch. Okay, Dench. According to him, in 1973, conflict exists whenever incompatible activities occur. So conflict is an action or activity that blocks, interferes or prevents the effectiveness or occurrence of other activities and creates incompatibility or disagreement between different events and actions. So what are main cause of why it comes? Why the conflict comes? It's defined as, again, natural disagreement resulting from individual or group. Okay, that differing needs. Natural disagreement resulting from individual or group that differing needs, beliefs, values and attitudes. Okay, so according to Dench, conflict exists whenever incompatible activities occurs. Conflict happen whenever someone disagrees over idea, value, opinion, perception, motivations or desires. Okay, may happen whenever someone disagrees over the ideas, values, opinion, perceptions, motivations and desires. And conflict many times produce such strong feeling that difference that look trivial, their too deep relational and personal problem arise. This is how it goes. And it frequently creates internal conflictual dynamic that makes peaceful, non-violent, everything is impossible. Like that it is. Peace is not possible when the conflict is there, right? So there is some aspects of conflicts. Okay, there is some aspects of conflicts. So positive aspects, negative aspects and different types of conflicts is also there. Fostering a culture of peace. So we did know about culture of peace and things. Okay, before that, before getting into the fostering the culture of peace, we should know why the peace is getting disturbed because of conflicts. So we should know the types of conflicts as well, na? So see, positive aspects is something forces people to analyze a problem and work towards the solution. Working together for solving problem. Negative is frustration and stress create negative feelings among the parties involved. Another two types, functional, dysfunctional. Functional includes support of goal of community, work group, organization. Dysfunctional, of course, disagreement, difference. This is how this conflicts is there. So do you think the type of conflicts have the subtopics? Yes. So functional conflict is economical, global, social, armed, region, interstate, intersocial, intrasocial. When it comes to dysfunctional, group, emotional, workplace, value, data, interest, organizational. These things. So conflict resolution been defined by Bill Waters, Bill space Warters. Bill Waters says that meaning of conflict resolution. Conflict resolution is the understanding of dynamics of human negotiation. Again, conflict resolution is the understanding of dynamics of human negotiation among conflicting interest groups and how to achieve mutual agreement. Conflict resolution is the understanding of dynamics of human negotiation among conflicting interest groups and how to achieve mutual agreement. This is how it is described by the Bill Waters. Okay. And now we do have some characterizes conflict resolution according to three underlying basic assumptions, that is dependence, acceptancy, fight. Okay, so depending on the things of upon another objects or a person, well-being of individual in the future is obtained through the intercourse of the pairs of the object. Expectancy, well-being of the individual to be secure by fighting of self-acquisition, that is fight. Now conflict management. How does conflict resolution and management have the techniques? Competing, avoiding, compromising, accommodating, collaborating. So competing is standing up for the rights. Right, standing up for the rights. So what is avoiding? Perhaps if we don't bring it up, it will blow over. And the compromising, the outcome is win some or lose some. And accommodating is a person neglects his own concerns to satisfy the concern of other person. Collaborating is working together. These are the techniques it uses. And it has some styles and models also. Sorry. Let's move to this fostering culture of peace. So we do have inner peace, understanding, tolerance, solidarity, all these things. Right. So how we'll be getting this inner peace? Inner peace or a peace of mind? That is referring to the state of being mentally and spiritually at peace. Being mentally and spiritually at peace with enough knowledge and understanding to kept oneself strong in the face of discord or stress. Being at peace is considered by many to be healthy and the opposite of being stressed or anxious. Peace of mind is generally associated with the bliss, happiness and contentment. Understanding is the culture of peace envisioned by the United Nations calls on people to be educated to see themselves as a peaceful people with norms that emphasizes cooperation and resolutions of conflicts by dialogue, negotiation and non-violence. That is what understanding. Tolerance is a respect, acceptance and appreciation of the rich diversity of outworld's culture or forms of expression and ways of being human. Creating the conducive environment for promoting the inner peace would help to enhance the tolerance among the individuals. Okay. Now solidarity. What is solidarity? The world of peace and solidarity can only be accomplished by acknowledging, celebrating our diversity. First and foremost, human solidarity is founded on mutual respect for each other's uniqueness and a deep sense of appreciation of a common humanity, that we are individuals with instinct self-worth and that we are sisters and brothers within one human family inhabiting planet Earth, our home and our heritage. I love this. Let me read it again for you. A world of peace and solidarity can only be accomplished by acknowledging and celebrating our diversity. First and foremost, human solidarity is founded on mutual respect of each other's uniqueness and a deep sense of appreciation of a common humility, that we are individuals with intrinsic self-worth and that we are sisters and brothers within one human family inhabiting planet earth, our home and our heritage. This is what tolerance. Okay, education for non-violence. Pacifism is a doctrine or belief that is possible and desirable to settle international disputes by peaceful means. This is the definitions I have given. Education for non-violence. So pacifism is the bold commitment to making peace and opposition to war. Okay. This term pacifism is derived from the Latin word pacific, meaning peacemaking. Pacific meaning peacemaking. Paci means pax, means peace. Fic means fierce, meaning making. Okay, that's what peacemaking. Okay. So we have to promote the assertive, respectful communication over the aggression or passivity. It has to be responsible. Teachers should learn to express, teachers learners to express the disagreement and manage anger without, already we seen about this anger management for the students, right? It should be there. And UNESCO's Culture of Peace program. UNESCO has led global efforts to define and promote a culture of peace since 1990s. Establishing a culture of peace and sustainable development are at the heart of UNESCO's mandate. It is at the heart of UNESCO's mandate, and it has promoted the right to quality education and the advancement of science and its application to develop knowledge and capacity for economic and social progress in the bias of peace and sustainable development. So you can look into the websites of UNESCO also. International peace and security. The UN works to maintain the international peace and security in the world, whereas security threats have become more complex. Okay. The although the organization has made many successes, there are also unfortunately several recent tragic cases where the United Nations has not been so successful. Hundreds of thousands have died around the world's conflicts have recently mounted. The line has become increasingly blurred between criminals and hostile groups and peace spoilers, including extremists with transitional strategies and sophisticated tactics. This needs to be noted and this needs to be changed. So this UN work for conflict prevention as a mediator, it continues to tackle the challenges and questions like what is the best way to engage with fractured and armed groups or with armed force movements. So now we reached the unit 5. We did studied about the promoting the culture of peace. And now we gonna study and I'm gonna read the important things to you about approaches and strategies. What is the approaches and strategies? The practical approaches, curricular activities and classroom strategies for value education. So inculcation approach. Inculcation. There is a curricular approach, co-curricular approach. So let's come to this inculcation approach. Direct teaching and reinforcement of desired values. Direct teaching and reinforcement of desired values. So what is the second one? That is value clarification approach. Helping learners identify and articulate their own values freely. Their own values. Moral reasoning approach. Using dilemmas to develop higher stages of ethical judgment. Action learning approach. Values developed through real social service and community engagement. Then integrated approach. Value woven across subjects rather than confined to a single lesson. So it should be interrelated. So that is one thing. Value implementation and clarification strategy. What is the value implementation and clarification strategy? Value clarification as a teaching method is very new concept in peace education. Okay, so since value underlie all ethical decision making, it's not possible to divorce ourselves from looking at our value orientation as well as the value orientation of those with whom we work or family, society, and confront the different issues. Value clarification model of teaching generally used for values clarification is choosing, pricing, acting. Okay, we did see in that 7 important things now. First, free to choose it, and alternative choices, and recognizing it, all those 7 steps you remember. So value clarification strategy is not to teach specific values but to make students aware of their own personality health. Their own personality that held. Okay. So though value clarification activities a variety of forms, there are some basic procedures. Teacher being the peace education lesson with opening up activities. Okay. Activities require student to indicate their position, accept student response without judgment. Student should be asked to explain or provide reason for the specific value, and whenever possible related to issue that have a historical importance also needs to be noted. Curricular and co-curricular activities. So this is integrated approach wherein a subject will now have individual identity. There will be a separate syllabus and number of teaching hours for value education is there. So teachers should go through the curricular textbooks and their respective subjects and find out situations which normally evoke value questions. So should try to get, the co-curricular activities can be well explained, and the development of a secular moral social values in the way of debate, storytelling, essay writings associated with this teaching of values. And drama, song, dance, participation, games can also be associated with value education. Okay. So the strategies of value education, already we did know that narrative method, storytelling, stories with the moral themes that has good values, that has an interesting also, and anecdotes, the short real life historical incidents illustrating, giving the examples from that. Group singing, that is with a not normal singing, with a meaningful themes. Even the prayer song have some meaningful themes, right? So group activities, cooperative tasks, develop teamworks, questioning, open-ended questioning. We should allow the student to question and we also should question. So yeah, this is all about the value education that we have seen so far. Hope you would have got some input. Again, I'm telling you, I didn't taught you, I didn't teach you something. I didn't how to say, I didn't given you extra things or given you deep dive mode. I have given you the important points. I have read out the important points in book, so you just listen to it and you get your own observation and go into your words. I have given into my words, you will be going into your words. That's it. Thank you. Have a nice day, and these are the references. Bye.